Cause he wanna life. Yeah, life's I've been with me. I've been going through some things, trying to get my mind right. Push the bucket to the lip, push that mission to the finish. Gotta get the full control, gotta get my mind right. Yeah, life's I've been with me. Midnight through the city. I've been going through some things, trying to get my mind right. Push the bucket to the lip, push that mission to the finish. Gotta get the full control, gotta get my mind right. Yeah, flashing on these high beams, you won't stay beside me, even if I'm blinded.
What's going on, everybody? Chilling in my parents' basement for Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Let me know if you guys can hear me loud and clear. Let me know in the chat. Got my guy Stevie Mac saying fire Kellen Moore right out the gate. I saw that as soon as I logged in. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that a little bit. Antoine says and AB. I know what you mean by that. Give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear me. Happy Thanksgiving, Stevie Mac. Turkey Day. Yes, the mini curse is gone. Yeah, definitely. So we're gonna kind of break this thing down brick by brick from what I saw reaction wise. So let's look at the landscape of the NFC East as it stands right now. The Eagles are still 9-1 because they haven't played. The Cowboys advanced to 8-3 with the 28-20 victory over the New York Giants, who was kind of, beat up a little bit in that game. Commanders sit at 6-5. Really, ultimately, we're going to break this down by offense and defense and all that type of stuff. The Giants' offense was obviously it was putrid because, for the most part, they were missing a lot of linemen. So they were very limited in the things that they could do, but they were able to early on get some chunk plays in the play action game. Something that we like to call ninja when I was calling plays, where you have the H back or whatnot come underneath, and then you have the drag route on the backside. So they were able to hit us with that a little bit early on in the game. They never really got the run game going. Dallas did a pretty good job stuffing the run. Shout out to LVE. LVE came to play tonight. Micah Parsons obviously came to play. Defensively, I thought we tackled for the most part well. There were times that the Giants had big plays. AB gave up the big play early on, but for the most part, the defense was consistent all day. And I think that's probably what you got to expect out of this defense. Anthony Brown is just going to get beat every once in a while. And he's going to be in great position too. That's the thing that sucks about it, right? If Anthony Brown was just getting sauced up and he wasn't in position to make a play, I don't think we would have as much of a problem. But the fact that he's right there, you're right on top of the route, and you let the guy do that to you, it's like same old Brown. But we don't have a better solution. So at this point, you just have to recognize what it is. Trayvon Diggs is going to do his thing, just like he did today for the most part. He tackled well today too. 7 tackled very well today for the times that I saw. We played a lot of zone for the most part. We didn't play a lot of man from what I saw. Tried to keep things in front and just let the pass rush get home. And we did the thing. I'm not sure exactly how many sacks we had today, but the pressure was there most of the game. And offensively, I felt like we had the ball more in this game than we have had in previous games. And I think it's because we started to get towards the run. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to really get into our offense. But we started running the football just like we should have been. We were a little bit pass happy early. But when I look at the final stats, Dak only threw the ball 30 times. Zeke ran the ball 16 times for 92 yards. I don't know if you guys remember, but I was calling for Zeke to have a big game. That's what I said. That was my bold prediction, actually. I thought that he could have possibly got to 100 yards, but Zeke had a touchdown. He had 16 carries for 92 yards. CeeDee Lamb had a pretty big day. They talked about CeeDee Lamb not having 100-yard games. Well, this is another 100-yard game for CeeDee Lamb. It's a big difference when you got your quarterback back, isn't it? Dak Prescott was 21 for 30, 261 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. And I want to talk about those 2 interceptions because that's becoming, I'm not going to say it's a norm, but in these games where it's kind of sloppy and, we're getting penalties and all that stuff, it's common denominators in those games. And part of it is the New York Giants were in this football game for the most part because we turned the football over. And it's not always on the receiver. At this point, you got to realize what it is. Oh, sorry about that. It can't always be the receiver. I thought on the first one, Gallup, they thought they had the offsides, and he threw the back shoulder fade to Gallup. Gallup was kind of loafing off the line a little bit, but I didn't think that the ball had enough zip on it. You can't hang a back shoulder fade like that. I think that was the big reason why that interception happened. And the second one, it was a tight window throw. When the ball is batted up in the air where it's a tight window like that, I mean, things like that are going to happen. But we did not need to get greedy there. That was a point in the field where we could have, possibly taken some points there. So we have to be better with taking care of the football. That's another 2 turnover day for Dak. I'm not sure. I guess against the Bucs, I think he had 1 turnover. Against Chicago, I think he had 2. Against Green Bay, he had 2, and he had 2 today. We gotta play clean football, and it's not just penalties, but we gotta stop turning the football over, and that has to be addressed, because if we're going to talk about the run game on defense and that's not stopping the run, we have to talk about our quarterback throwing the ball to the other team. And for the most part, outside of those 2 interceptions, there were times where I thought that early on the game was getting away from him, and then in the second half he kind of settled down, and He had a great second half. Dak had a great second half, put together throw after throw. The run game got going, and it was just a balanced offense after halftime. So the good thing about this is, I'm not going to be a negative Nancy. It was an ugly game for us, but we got the W. And at this point, in this tough NFC East, you got to take your W's. You got to take your wins. And you got, at the end of the day, at the end of the season, you want to continually get better. Understand, we played a Minnesota Vikings team that was 8-1. This Giants team, whether they were banged up or not, they were a 7-3 football team. They've been resilient this year. They're a tough football team. Although they didn't have most of their guys up front on the offensive side of the ball, they still were a tough opponent, and they still tackled. It was a good old NFC East slobber knocker. And let me get to some of these comments a little bit. Happy Thanksgiving, Brad Harris. Thank you. Eagles down said AB made some good plays in the second half. He definitely did. That's just what he does. He's going to give up some plays. He's going to make more plays than he gives up, but it's going to be like that play that he gives up is going to be devastating. But we just have to recognize that that's what it is at this point. He's not going to just overnight become a shutdown corner. But he's much better than the young guys that we could throw in there. So at this point, I'm not going to complain about it, because it could have been somebody running free for a touchdown. Kellen was acting up as usual in that first drop, man. Kellen was acting up all game, man. Kellen was acting up all game. A lot of those motion penalties and false starts between him and Dak and the cadence and stuff, they got to figure that out, because this game was at home. So we should not have had those mistakes. Those were just brain farts, quite frankly, from what I see. Mr. Kima says Jake Ferguson doing his job. Absolutely, man. That young tight end group over there, man, they're doing – all of them, for the most part, did their thing. Schultz had a couple of times where he got whooped at one-on-one in pass coverage, but again, I'm going to blame my offensive coordinator. Why is he one-on-one with Thibodeau? Thibodeau whooped him on the run, he whooped him on the pass, the next play, and got the hold. You know what I'm saying? Like that's on your offensive coordinator. We got to schematically not put our guys in situations like that. But for the most part, we won this game. Our identity is having multiple tight ends. We have to recognize that, and we have to be able to, stick with that. Another thing too, you can't sit here and watch this game and tell me that Odell Beckham can't help this football team. There were times that I saw Noah Brown, I saw him get the ball and he got tackled in open space. There was a time where Michael Gallup wasn't necessarily having the best game, and then he kind of turned it on. But Odell Beckham offers us one more person that can get 3 to 4 touches a game that can, open up this run game a little bit more. Tony Pollard didn't have as great of a game today, but he still had an effective game, I thought. He had 18 carries for 60 yards, which is 3.3 yards per carry. But there were times he had 13-yard carries, 11-yard carries. He got tough yards in the passing game. He blocked well today. I thought TP and Zeke today, they did the damn thing collectively, I made the joke about Earth, Wind, and Fire, hoping that we would use our three-headed monster. But these guys are just like when they had Willie Parker and they had Jerome Bettis. And today I just think, Zeke had the better end of being a little bit more effective. But Tony still had some great runs, some great touches in there. And like I said about Tony, I feel like the magic number for him is 15 touches, between 15 to 20 total touches. And TP today had 16. He had 18 carries, and he had 2 catches. So that's 20 touches. And I'm almost willing to bet when he has 20. Now, we lost the Green Bay game, but we shouldn't have lost that game. That game was a lot like today, and we gave up some points later on in this game too. But I think the magic number for Tony is about 20 touches, 15 to 20. Zeke had a total of 17 touches, so that distribution was about equal. I thought they got them in and out at the right times, and we used 12 and 13 personnel pretty well today. Jumbo, we did well. Hendershot got a handoff in the end zone. You know what I'm saying? Like, there were a lot of positives in this game. There were a lot of negatives in this game. If I had to give a game ball, my game ball today is going to go to Ezekiel Elliott. I thought Zeke Elliott set the tone. I thought that he punched them in the gut when we needed to. Just having him out there today was a big reason why we won. I'm not saying that it's, the main reason that we won, because the defense kept us around long enough for the offense to get the head out their ass. But I thought Zeke, takes home the game ball today for me. Let me know in the chat who you guys thought were your game ball. Mr. Keeman said Mike McCarthy calling plays second half. I don't know, man. I don't know who the hell was calling plays, but we gotta shore some things up. Like Spot, Can You Save Me said, they got 10 points off penalties. We gotta clean that up. I mean, we have to if we want to go a little bit further than we want to. Now, the Giants are a playoff team, and whether they were banged up or not, if the playoffs started today, they would have had to go in there banged up. So, you got to take care of business. We did. We didn't get a 40 burger, but understand we got a 40 burger last week, and you just got to collect wins. We got wins against an 8-1 team and a 7-3 team back to back. You can't say that this team can't win against winning teams, because we've done it. We've done it all year. We just have to get over the hurdle when it comes to the Eagles. You know what I'm saying? And in Tampa Bay and Green Bay were games that we lost, and they weren't winning teams. I'm glad we made adjustments on both sides of the ball in the second half. Absolutely. And that's what we've done for the most part all year. Besides the Green Bay game, where we just completely collapsed for a quarter, we've been a second half adjustment type team all year. So, kudos to the coaching staff for that. One thing that I kind of want to talk about before I head out, because, it's Thanksgiving, so I didn't want to stay on here too long. But Tyler Smith at tackle, we got to figure out something. At this point, I'm with, we got about 10 days. I would put in Peters in that left tackle and then put in Smith at guard. That's where I'm at now. I saw Tyler Smith get beat too much today. I saw him get confused a little bit too much today. And you got to do something about that, or else you're going to get our quarterback killed, or you're going to kill a lot of drives, because it's a copycat league. And if they confuse him today, he's going to be confused next week. So we got all that we can get out of him this year, I feel like, at left tackle. And you can continue to keep the line the way that you want, because like I said, the line, the way that it is constructed right now, you can win a Super Bowl with this line. You can win a Super Bowl with this line. But me personally, I believe, and I wholeheartedly believe, that we need to make the switch next week. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. CeeDee Lamb definitely showed promise. CeeDee Lamb was another one who could have got the game ball. CeeDee Lamb made it look so effortlessly today. Definitely. Steve Max said, Jerry said Tyler's moving the guard once Tyron's ready to go. But I say make the move now. That way he's acclimated there. And then when Tyron's ready to go, you plug him in there. And then if Tyron goes down again, you just put Peters back at left tackle. Peters is a tackle. All right. And it's best for our line if we put Peters at left tackle and we put Smith at guard. I'm telling you, make the change next game. I know that it was a little bit too soon to do it from the Viking game to Thanksgiving on Thursday, and guys were out sick and all this type of stuff. But now you got to make that change because it's stopping a lot of drives. It's making drives a little bit harder than it needs to be. We had a touchdown drive where we had a whole bunch of penalties, and Tyler Smith had 2 of the penalties on that same drive. So yeah, we got to figure out something there. Make the move for the Colts game. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, Tyron will not be 100% for at least a month. So I say get your young boy ready to play guard for at least a month. Then when Tyron comes back, you know, if he's ready to go, boom, plug him in there, and we're ready to go. Carlos Holloway says Zeke looked good. He definitely did. Zeke looked good. His legs look good. He looked a little bit fresh. And we're going to need him to be fresh down this stretch run. There was a time in this game, I don't know if you guys remember, but Tony Pollard was running that ball, and he didn't get a gain. It was right before the 2-minute warning, I think. And, man, Zeke smacked the absolute hell out of somebody. It was probably one of the best blocks of the year. Zeke destroyed somebody. You could hear it and everything. Somebody said Odell tweeted again. Steve Mack said Odell tweeted again, make everyone go nuts. I'm going to go on Twitter right now. But let me know what you guys' thoughts are of the game in the chat box, man. You know, let me know. I'm about to go check and see what Odell said. Odell Beckham. I mean, it's about time, bro. Like we know that he's gonna be a Cowboy. It's probably already done. It's probably already done. Let's see. Get rid of turf. He said that at 6 hours ago. Get rid of turf. I don't know why we getting rid of turf. And then he said, "Happy Thanksgiving." I don't know what he said to make everybody go crazy. But you know, it wasn't anything that I saw that he said to make everybody go crazy. Carl says, I think Odell wouldn't make a difference for at least 6 to 8 weeks. I disagree with that. I think Odell makes a difference right now. I think 80%, 70 to 80% Odell is better than Noah Brown. He's better than Jalen Tolbert. He offers you in ugly games like this because CeeDee Lamb went off today, but there are going to be times where we have ugly games like this and CeeDee's not going to be able to do what he did today. Michael Gallup, a little bit shaky. Both of those guys collectively, I think, can make things a little bit easier for CeeDee Lamb. Odell Beckham on crossing routes in the play action game, I think that that's something that is, great. I saw today Noah Brown on a crossing route. It was him and the DB, and the DB just tapped his ankle and he fell down. Where Noah Brown should have made a miss. That's what you get with Odell Beckham. Even at 70, 80%, he's better than Noah Brown. That's just a fact. You know what I'm saying? Eagle Down says, I want to give a shout out to the whole O-line. They need more love. Oh, yeah, definitely. For the most part, like I said, there were times that the O-line, they get beat like everybody else does. But it's a down year for the O-line. But I think that this is one of the better units in the league still. And I think that this unit, even as is right now, could win you a Super Bowl. Could we be better? Yeah. Could we can we get our best 5 on the field? Yeah. But ultimately, the offensive line, they did their job today. I kind of feel like, some of the turnovers, I think that was on our quarterback, and I think that was on our offensive coordinator a little bit, mostly our quarterback today. I do think that I blame both picks on Dak, to be honest with you. I blame both of them, At some point, we got to stop. Like, it's like, oh, the receiver was supposed to do this. The receiver was supposed to do that. I mean, we don't need to make some of those throws. We don't need them. Some of those throws we don't need to make, So we got two conflicting things here. CD true number 1. We won the OBJ Bowl, and then CD is not a true one. I think CD right now is developing. as a number one. So today he played like a number one. Last week he didn't necessarily, or Sunday he didn't necessarily have to do it, but there were some plays that he made. Today, every time we needed to play, a lot of the times on third down, it was CeeDee making those plays. That's what number ones do. And if he can consistently do that, that's what we'll be like, okay, CeeDee's made it. CeeDee's the number one. But today, he definitely played like a number one. We just got to see if he can continue to do that. Consistency isn't just with Kellen Moore. It's not just with Dak Prescott. It's with everybody. You know what I'm saying? And I would like to see CeeDee become a little bit more consistent with how he played today. I thought was his best game all year. I know he went off against the Packers, but today there were a lot of timely third downs that we needed. And CeeDee, we dialed up CeeDee one-on-one, and he won. And that's what we need. We definitely need that. What's up, Jay Ruiz? What's going on? OBJ on a 3-year dead, about 16 million plus bonuses would be a good deal. I don't know what a good deal is. We'll see. Let's see. Dak isn't a guy. Dak isn't a guy to force feed his number ones. He played better when he feed everyone. I disagree with that. Today he force fed CeeDee Lamb at the times that we needed it, and it worked out. Today he kind of force fed Gallup at a certain point, and it worked out. I just think Dak has to continue to look at matchups and go for him. You know what I'm saying? I thought today, sure, I blame those 2 picks on him. I don't blame the throws. Well, no, I don't blame why he did it. It was the execution. You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like the balls could have been in better places, but I'm not mad. If you got one-on-one with Gallup on the outside, yeah, take a shot. If you got CeeDee Lamb one-on-one with somebody on the cross or vert, and you feel like you can get it there, do it. It's just more so about the execution. I thought he hung that back shoulder fade up for Gallup, and I thought CeeDee, a couple inches this way, that's a different one, but I thought he gambled in a situation where we didn't need to gamble. I'm not mad that he went at the matchup. I'm mad at the situation and how he played the situation, if that makes sense. So, Jay Ruiz says he thought that the pick to CeeDee was PI. I didn't think it was PI. I personally thought it was a good play because at the end of the day, it can't always go to the offense. And I thought that he got his head around personally, and he got his hand in between. So it was simultaneous. He was turning his head, and he got his hand up in there. So I thought it was a good defensive play personally. You know what I'm saying? There were worse ones in the game that they didn't call, or there were holds and stuff, but that one in particular, I didn't think that was a bad call. That was a bang one. You know what I'm saying? Carl Winston said, and Odell Beckham Jr. would definitely make life easier for CeeDee Lamb. Yeah, he sure would, man. And that's my whole point. He doesn't have to come in here and be Odell Beckham that made that catch like this. He just has to be our number 3. He just has to be better than James Washington, Jalen Tolbert, and Noah Brown, which we all know he is. You know what I'm saying? So when they get him in here after Thanksgiving, after today, and they kick the tires on him, we'll know where his health is at. If his health isn't there, they're not going to sign him. But if he's healthy enough to go, they're going to sign him, and he's going to play. And it'll probably take him about a month to really get set. But I think once he gets set for the playoff run, because we are going to the playoff, and I'm just going to say it. It's not a bold statement at this point. We're 8-3, and we have a good running game, and we have a good defense. We have a running game, and we have a good defense. We're going to the playoffs. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, Odell will be ready when it's time for the stretch run. And I truly believe that. Let's talk Trayvon Diggs, though. He's been on lockdown this year. Absolutely. I think this is his best year. I think this year is better than last year. He had all the picks last year, but I think this year he has more of an impact when we're playing him right. And today he made a lot of tackles. He was physical today. So he must have took it personal. That Green Bay game, he must have really took it personal after that. So happy Thanksgiving, Lola. Happy Thanksgiving. Washington could have a perfect role in this team, but we may never know. Yeah, because I do think James Washington's better than Noah Brown. I do. But like you said, we'll never know. Because it's something with his health, man. And we saw what happened where Diggs kind of rolled up on his leg in camp or whatnot. But I think they're definitely going to get OBJ, and they're probably done with that whole situation. What's up, Damian French? Appreciate you, my God. Thank you for the super chat. I'm going to enter you in the drawing for a free shirt coming soon. Good to see me. Sucks I wasn't with Mark. It's all good, bro. Look, I got to spend time with my family as well. It's Thanksgiving. Mark has his family. I got my family, but I'll probably be there on Sunday. So, make sure you tune in. But, hey, appreciate you for the super chat. I'm going to write this down on my phone now because I do not have my lucky hat here. And sometime in the near future on Mark's show, I'm going to do a drawing, and we're going to have the winner of the free T-shirt. So, Damian French, you've just been entered one drawing for it. Thank you. I think he's better at some things than Noah Brown, but not others. Yeah, I think Noah Brown's an excellent blocker. I think he's an excellent team guy. I think that he's an excellent guy that you could throw in there if you need to. Excellent special teams guy. So we'll see. I don't know. I love what Noah Brown has done for us this year, and I think we've gotten the most out of him. I just think we need a little bit more if we want to get over that hump, and I do believe that Odell Beckham offers us that. I don't know if James Washington offers us that. Choctaw says, hell no, James Washington is not better than Noah Brown. I think James is a better receiver. You know what I'm saying? I think all the dirty things that Noah Brown does, you know what I'm saying? All the dirty things, we enjoy that and we appreciate him for that. But as a receiver, I saw today, bro, he caught that crossing route and that DB, he should have ran right by that DB and that DB tackled him. I was like, yeah, bro, nah, no. He's also pretty damn good at high pointing the ball for someone you don't expect to do that. Oh, yeah, true. Oh, let's talk about this, man. Before I head out here, you know how they talk about the Dallas Cowboys don't have an identity? I'm going to tell you what our identity is. Our identity is those young boys that jumped into the Salvation Army bucket. Those tight ends. That group right there, they're a fun group to watch. All of them get along with each other. All of them do their jobs. When we're the best when we're in 12 personnel, 13 personnel. That's our identity right there, guys. That is our identity. We keep talking about receivers, and we're talking about Odell Beckham this and Odell Beckham that, and James Washington this, Noah Brown that. But those young boys, Hendershot, Ferguson just jumped over somebody today, did his best Travis Kelce impression. 87 is our future, guys. He is our future. Jake Ferguson is the future. Dalton Schultz doing some things today. Sometimes we'll throw McEwen in there. That tight end group is our identity. And down the stretch, mark my words, they're going to win a playoff game for us. You heard it here first. Because remember, me and Nix was saying, we were saying that, we're cooked. And, I still need to see a little bit more consistency. But if we're going to win a playoff game, those tight ends, they need to be on the field. Multiple tight ends. Those guys, whew, man, look, they're a problem. You don't know where it's coming from. It's like the jackpot. Yeah. Mike says our identity should be heavy run team, but Kellen is trying his best not to let that happen. And you saw when that game got close, you saw coming out of halftime, we started running that football down their throat, right? Sure, Dak got some touchdowns today, but those touchdowns were because of the run game and how we punched them in the gut. Our tight ends are a matchup nightmare, and they block too. Yes, yeah, definitely, Vern. Definitely. We finally threw the ball to Ferguson and Hendershot down the field. Yes, they're going to be a problem. Zeke's still that dude. Him and Tony Pollard are that dude, and we need them both. That's where I'm at. That's our identity as well. Our tight ends and both of our running backs. And they keep our quarterback clean and allow him to be able to do his job. But, yeah, guys, we won today 28-20. I'm excited about the win. I'm getting ready to, go get some dessert right now. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button. Hit the like button if you haven't already hit the like button. Hit the like button on the way out. Make sure that you give your family hugs and kisses, man, because you never know what can happen. These are the holidays that these type of holidays are best for getting family together, or your close ones or your loved ones, and you just hug on them and spend that time with them. No matter what you think of the holiday, it's still great to get around your loved ones and share these memories with them. But I'm out, y'all. Peace.